All right, what's going on? We're live here, and it's a little shadowy on this side of the face. We are going to be working on, well, I guess I'm technically working on right now, a whole new live setup, a live studio that's happening over there. But it's not ready yet, and it will be ready soon. We'll have everything looking nice, sounding nice, even though it already sounds nice. What's up, guys? Tripp Kramer here from trippadvice.com. I love it. We already started and people are spamming the chat. You will be removed. I will kick you out. I don't care if you're going to be here, if you're going to spam the chat. All right. Today, we're talking about how to test for high quality women. That's right. How to test for high quality women. We're going to be going over what it really means in terms of how do you find a woman who's high quality? Last time we did a live, what I did was I talked about how do you develop the social skills to attract a high quality woman. So we're going to take it a little bit further. So how do you know that she's high quality? And that's what we're going to be going over today. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Salvador? What's up, Waleed? What's up, Seth? Hello. I appreciate you guys not spamming the chat. It means a lot because there's people here who want to actually get real answers to real questions. So let's not BS. Okay. So as you see, I have a new little graphic right down there. Boom. Coachbytripp.com. That is a place to apply for coaching if you need coaching with me one-on-one. I am taking students right now. So if you're interested in doing coaching with me, I can help you. If you have problems with talking to girls, if you have problems with getting girls attracted to you, continuing conversation, I guess that's also talking to girls, approaching, nervousness, fear of rejection. If you have a problem with getting past the first date, if you have any problems with this, let me help you. Go to coachbytripp.com and you can apply. It's a little application. It takes you about 10 minutes to fill out. If you're over 18, I will consider your application. And if I further consider it from the details that you fill in, I will get on the phone with you personally and we'll talk. Hello, Justin from Cape Town. What's up, Bacon Sandwich from the Netherlands? I know that we're doing a live here right smack dab in the middle of the weekday. Yes, Vincent, Tripp Advice live on a Tuesday. That's right. I'm going to try to do more of these on Tuesdays in the afternoon to catch some of the other people across the world. So, all right, let's get into it because I know a lot of you are watching this not live, and I want to respect your time because you just want to get the information. So let's give you the information. How do you test for high-quality women? First, you have to understand what is a high-quality woman. Of course, I think we all have different versions of what we think is a high-quality woman. I am definitely going to be speaking to that idea, but I think that there's also some things that we can all agree upon that make a high-quality woman, okay? Yes, I will be answering questions, so you can write your questions. We're also going to have a little call-in, so you guys can call in and we can go over that. But let's go over what is a high-quality woman. Well, let's start with the first thing. The first thing is a high-quality woman is someone that you are going to be a match with, okay? Someone that you're going to be a match with. Who are you going to be a match with? Well, that's not for me to say. That's for you, right? That's for you to say. That means that this is going to be you figuring it out in terms of what is a good match. What are you looking for? I call these the 3 non-negotiables. You got to have 3 things that you're looking for in a woman that is a good match for you. So maybe you want someone who has a certain religious viewpoint, political viewpoint. Maybe there's a specific physical attribute that you like in a woman. Maybe you're looking for a woman who wants kids. Maybe you want a woman who doesn't want kids. It doesn't really matter what you're looking for, but the high quality woman is going to be someone that you are a match with. Okay, so that's kind of like step 1. Okay, that's step 1 is you being able to figure out what it is that you think is a good match and then searching for that. Because, of course, anything other than that is going to be a woman that you're settling for, and that's not going to be high quality. Okay? So understand that to begin with. But there's also a lot of different things that make up a quality woman as well. We're going to go over those today. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask in the chat. You can do a super chat to guarantee an answer. And also, we're going to be putting the phone number soon here on the screen so you can call in and we can even talk to you. Okay? So don't forget to say hello in the chat. All right. So what else makes a high quality woman? Well, if you follow me on Instagram, and I'll put it here in the chat, it's so simple because it's just Tripp advice. Okay. So if you follow me on Instagram, I actually did a post, and I remember I was looking at it this week, and that's what kind of encouraged me or inspired me, so to speak, to talk about a high quality woman, because I talk about some of the big red flags. And what makes a woman high quality is a woman who doesn't have the red flags. And I actually made a little list. It was a post that I did on Instagram maybe a few months back. And so I'm taking some things from there, and I'm also adding a few others. But anyways, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can do that at Tripp Advice. Go follow me. And you can DM me. We can even chat. Sometimes I respond to DMs. Depends on what I'm doing, if I'm busy. But yeah, hit me up there. So these are some of the things that I took from Instagram. Okay? So I wrote the red flags. Here are some red flags for you right now. Drug use and alcohol use. Drug use and alcohol use to a point where it seems to be a problem. And of course, this is going to be something that you're going to have to kind of figure out at your own discretion, right? It's like, what do you think is going to be too much, right? If, you go out with a girl and she has one glass of wine or one cocktail, probably not a big deal. But if you're going out with her and you realize that every time you guys go out, she's having like 5 and she can't stop drinking and she gets plastered, this could be a problem, right? This could be a little bit of a problem. If it's a girl that smokes a lot of weed to the point where she's just not even there with you and you feel like this girl is just high all the time, and you might be into that, and that's different. That's fine on some level, but I think we can all agree if you're doing any kind of drug or alcohol use to a point where it's really taking over your life, maybe even it's some sort of an addiction, this is not going to be good. Okay, this is not going to be what I would call a high quality woman. Because you got to think, if you're looking for a high quality woman, if you're looking for someone to get into a relationship with, you want someone who's good at life, right? I just want to simplify it for you. You want a woman who's good at life. And you're not going to be good at life if you are addicted to something, addicted to a drug, an alcoholic. So you got to understand that. Okay, let's go down the list. Let's keep going. Another thing that I talk about too in terms of red flags is daddy issues. Daddy issues. This is interesting, okay? Daddy issues. So daddy issues there's a lot to this, okay? When a woman has daddy issues, it causes a lot of problems, a lot of emotional problems, a lot of psychological problems. It could, and I'm going to talk about these separately, but it could be causing her very low self-esteem. It could cause her to be emotionally volatile. It can cause a number of different mental illnesses depending on how bad the daddy issues are. And I'll tell you in just a second how you can kind of figure out if she does have daddy issues. Now, here's the thing. I'm generally speaking here, there are some women who do have daddy issues, but they have it handled. Or they have some daddy issues, but they haven't really let it affect their life. So it's not just about finding out, does she have a good relationship with her dad? Because you have to understand, having a healthy relationship with her dad means that she was raised in a way that makes her a little bit more psychologically healthy. But of course, there are times when it gets to the point where she has such a poor relationship with her father that it kind of messes with everything that's going on. And you're going to be able to see these things as you date her. You're going to be able to find out these things because she's going to have either, like I said, low self-esteem. She's going to be basically at a point where she might be needy with you and a little too needy. Some guys like that in the beginning because they like the attention, but that gets old very fast. So if a girl's too needy or constantly trying to get your attention, that means that she's doing that because she didn't get that attention from her father. She might be acting out. She might be trying to get you to be jealous, right? All these different ways of acting out to get attention because she didn't get attention. So you're going to see some of these signs kind of come up as you guys are together. Now, in order to kind of find out how this works, you can even ask her on a first, second, or third date, like, hey, so are you close with your parents? Just like that. Are you close with your parents? I think that's a really great way of not diving into such a deep thing where it doesn't seem like a weird question to ask. It seems like it's pretty surface level. You're not saying, do you have daddy issues? You're just saying, hey, are you close with your parents? You talk with your parents a lot. Do you see them a lot? And you'll get an idea in terms of how she responds. Okay? So someone said, what is daddy issues? So just again, it's a poor relationship with her father. And the reason why that's a problem is because it ends up affecting her psychologically, which ends up getting to the point where she might be acting out in the relationship in a way that's going to cause a lot of drama and a lot of problems for you. That's the very, very, very simplified, quick version. I'm not a psychologist, but if you want to look further into this, you can literally type into Google something along the lines of daddy issues, and you'll get an idea of what it's all about. But I just wanted to give you kind of an intro. You know, this video is kind of just like touching upon some of the topics so you can have a good idea and look through this. Okay. So let's move on here. We're talking about how to really vet for the high quality woman. All right. That's what we're doing here. So let's make sure that she's not addicted to drugs or alcohol. Let's make sure she doesn't have any daddy issues. And, you know, here's the thing. I want to be, in a way, sensitive. You know, it's not like a woman who's addicted to drugs or has daddy issues doesn't deserve a guy. But I'll also say, on the other hand, just because you met a woman like this and she has these issues, if they're not under control, that doesn't mean that you need to keep dating her. That means that she needs to get her act together and work on herself. And you don't need to stick around for that, especially if you just started dating her. That's not your job. And a lot of guys think it is. It's one thing if you guys are having this great relationship and after a few years, some things start to happen with, I don't know, her psychology or something with her emotions, or she's starting to act out. It's different once you're committed. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't tell you just to like leave her, you know, maybe you can try to work through this, but it's not something that you have to get into or think that you have to get into. So don't be desperate for it. Okay. All right. So let's move on here. You know, you want to make sure that this woman has friends. You really do. You want to make sure that she has a friend group of some sort, or if not a friend group, at least, you know, a variety of different friends. If she doesn't have friends, that's sort of a red flag. Why doesn't she have friends? What's the reason why she can't stay close to people? Is there something going on where people are not wanting to hang out with her? If she has no friends, is she going to be just trying to be hanging out with you all the time when you really need to have separate lives? Like, she needs to have a relationship or multiple relationships outside of you. It's healthy that way. We need to be socializing with other people other than our significant others. Because that way you guys can come back together and have a good time. But you shouldn't be relying on each other for all things social. Okay? Someone did a super chat. We'll get to that in just a second. With no spaces. I'm curious what is that currency? Is a girl worth it even though initially she doesn't like you? No. The answer is no. It's not worth it at all. Okay? Not worth it. If she doesn't like you, you got to move on. That's what I say. All right. So, hope that answers your question. It's pretty simple. But let's stick to the topic. So, it went through friends, daddy issues, drug use. Here's another one. Constantly needs validation. This is tied into low self-esteem. This is also tied into potentially daddy issues, because a woman who has these issues usually has low self-esteem. It came from somewhere. She doesn't feel good about herself. But then again, low self-esteem could have come from a lot of different things. Okay? So if she has low self-esteem, this is going to be difficult for you because she's going to need a lot of validation from you, and it's going to get pretty annoying. And you want someone who has a stronger character than that. And by the way, it's okay. We're not perfect. It's all right once in a while you're not feeling confident. You're not going to necessarily be someone who loves themselves so much and has such high self-esteem that like every day is going to be amazing. Yeah, there's once in a while we get a little down on ourselves where we have a little moment of God, I kind of feel crappy. But this is something that's overwhelmingly happening. If this is happening all the time, this is no good. You do not want a woman who's going to be constantly needing you to tell her that she's amazing, she's pretty, yada, yada, yada. Yes, it's good to compliment and give words of affirmation to your partner or the girl that you're dating every once in a while. But if she's constantly seeking that validation, there's something wrong here. She should not, and you should not, be getting your self-esteem from outside validation. It should be internal. You should be validating yourself. That is the more sustainable way of feeling good about who you are. You should not be using your relationships, partnerships to receive that validation. Okay? So, let's think about that. Okay? Cool. So, here's another one. This is going to be interesting. This is actually one that I've come across in my own dating life. I once dated a girl who had an extremely messy place. Like a fucking disaster. Okay? Just like you walk in the place and there's clothes everywhere. I don't mean like a couple shirts on the floor and a couple on the bed. I mean like her whole entire floor was covered in clothes and like wrappers and food from a couple nights ago and a red wine stain. And her kitchen was messy. And it's interesting because there was all these other great parts about her, and I kind of let that go. And then only to realize that, in a sense, how you do anything is how you do everything. That's a common saying, especially in personal development. So she was really messy in her place, which actually signaled that she had a messy life. Now, I want to be clear here again, because I like to be fair. Okay? I like to be fair that if you're dating a woman and you go over and 1 out of every, 7 times her place is a little messy, it's not a big deal. I'm talking about a girl who's consistently a disaster. It really shows. I'm not kidding. I know it's such a small thing, but this is a cool little hack. You walk into a place and you're going to a girl's place multiple times and usually it's clean, or on the other hand, usually it's messy. That says a lot about her. It says a lot about what's going on in her life. Okay? So stay away from that. That is not a high-quality girl because that's someone who doesn't have her shit together. It's kind of what we're talking about here. We want a woman who has her shit together because if she doesn't, she's going to cause you a ton of trouble. She's going to be a disaster in your life, a whirlwind, an emotional wreck, and that's going to be very bad. Okay? Very bad for you. It's going to be a lot of drama. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of complaining. And you're going to be physically attracted to her and want to have sex with her. And that's going to keep you in because that's what happens with guys. I hear about this with my clients all the time is that they get really into a woman. And then later on they find out, oh, wait a minute. She was just completely a wreck and you're still staying in because you're so attracted to her and because you're already invested in her and you've had sex with her and all those things. So we really want to make sure that we try to focus here on these red flags that I'm saying, right? The drugs, the daddy issues, the alcoholism, not having a lot of friends, needing constant validation, low self-esteem, a completely disastrous place, and she's just emotionally volatile. That's the whole list right there of red freaking flags. Stay away, stay away, stay away. And you can find this stuff out in the beginning. Try to get over at her place to see if her place is a mess or not. Make sure you have those 3 non-negotiables, the 3 things that you're looking for. I talk about this a lot in my coaching. I talk a lot about it in my book called Magnetic, which I highly recommend that you check out. It's on Amazon. So kind of putting this all together, this should give you a nice little idea of what it's going to be like to find that high quality woman. A lot of guys focus so much on just impressing a girl. I was on the phone with a client the other day and he said to me, I went on a date and I just didn't really know how to impress her. And I said, stop right there. We're not trying to impress anybody. Stop trying to impress a woman, okay? It's not about impressing her. Because if you get into that mentality, then you're going to be really needy. You're going to be, I need to try to get her, when at the end of the day, you need to be qualifying her, which means you need to find out if this is a quality girl. Don't get stuck in an impress mode, and then all of a sudden, she becomes attracted to you, and then you find out you're with a shitty girl. Stop that. Don't impress her. Instead, you just go out, you put on your most attractive self, try to be as charismatic, try to be as interesting and as possible, look your best. So we're kind of going out there with this like optimized attraction because of course you want to get a girl interested in you and attracted to you, but you don't want to get her, you don't want to impress her. It's not about impressing her. It's about trying to build attraction with a woman, but at the same time, finding out if she's going to be a quality woman for you. Okay? So that's kind of the idea here. Really quick, someone said on the super chat, I would love to talk to you one-on-one. Kyle, if you want to do that, the best way is to go to coachedbytripp.com. Coachedbytripp.com is the website that takes you to an application page. If you want to work with me on how to not impress women, but become your most attractive self, and make sure you find a high quality woman and get into either a relationship or a sexual relationship with a woman that you find very attractive, get coaching. Because the guys who I'm working with are getting laid, they're getting dates, they're getting in relationships. So whatever kind of dating life you want, whatever kind of active dating lifestyle you want, we can help you get there. I help you get there because I give you a customized plan on how to do it. So we work over the phone and we work in person as well to help you approach women, get over approach anxiety, and have the dating life that you've been looking for. So go to coachedbytripp.com and fill out the application to your fullest potential. That didn't make any sense. Just fill out the application in the best way possible. Okay, guess what? It's call time. That's right. The line is open. If you have a question, I will answer it today. I will answer it not only on the phone, 310-598-3384. I know it's kind of hard to see. I got to fix the graphic, so bear with me if I put my shoulder down and put the black in it. Maybe you can see it a little bit better for now. But I will be answering questions in the chat. So if you have a super chat, I will 100% answer your question. And if you have any other questions, I can answer it as well if I can get to it. But if you want to call in, I'm happy to dive deep with you. We have some really good callers lately on the live who have been getting their questions answered. So I'm here to help you. We got the rest of the hour. And then after that, I will be talking to someone who is interested in coaching. That's right. I get on the phone with people who are interested in coaching, and we have an hour talk to see if it's a good fit for you. So I have someone who I'll be talking to who filled out an application and signed up for a call. but that's not for another 30 minutes, so we got some time. Someone said high-quality girls behave in public differently than troubled girls, right? Not necessarily. I mean, if you see a woman who's completely drunk and out of it and causing a scene, she's definitely not a high-quality woman. Some people think you can't meet, by the way, a high-quality woman at a bar, and I have to explain to you that it actually is possible, okay? Don't think that the bars are just for girls who are easy or party animals. Women go to bars who are completely normal and high quality. So, Neo, you filled out an application 2 months ago or so. If you didn't hear back from me, it's either you're under 18 or you didn't fill out the application to the best of your ability. Maybe you put in a few words, or maybe you said in the application that you can't afford it. So if you can't afford coaching, of course, coaching is not free. There is an investment to it. So just make sure that it's something that you're able to invest in. All right, we got a caller. Hey, man, what's your name, age, and where are you calling from?
My name is Tony. I'm 22, and I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
What's up, Tony? How you doing, man? What's your question?
I'm doing good. I had been having feelings for this girl for a while, but I can't really get her. I can't really get past this great filter. She's kind of a very shy, closed off type. I can't really get her to open up, and we barely see each other. We barely hang out, and she has this real shitty taste in guys, though. And I just want to know, how could I get past that filter? How can I build attraction?
Is this someone that you're dating, or tell me more about the relationship between you two exactly, and then I can answer it better.
Well, we met at we met at church a while ago, but it was more of a racing guy thing. She approached me actually, and we were getting to know each other for a while. Then all of a sudden, she starts playing the cold shoulder with me, and after that, we tried getting things back. After that, I've been trying to talk to her more about it. Wasn't trying to come off overbearing, overwhelming, or anything.
Does she know that you're interested in her?
Uh, Possibly. I think so. I'm just trying not to act like I'm that interested.
Why? Where
I'm
where
not,
where, where has that
not
gotten you so far?
nowhere truly.
I think it's time to let her know that you're interested in some fashion. What do you think?
All right, I'll go for that.
Now, hang on. You don't have to hang up yet. We can help you through this. Uh, all right. So we don't know for sure if she knows that you're interested, but the whole problem here is you're caught in this kind of purgatory friend zoney kind of state where you're hanging out a
Yeah.
lot with a woman, and she might know that you're interested, she might not, but women are waiting for the man to make the first move because they're waiting to test his masculinity because they don't know yet if they can be attracted to someone. They got to find out. They got to find out by spending more time with you. So you need to make some sort of move or something that is going to tell her that you have some sort of interest. So that can be anything from uh, asking her out on a date, getting a drink with her, getting coffee with her, and maybe even at this point, since it sounds like you've been spending a lot of time with her, just letting her know you're interested. A lot of people are really against that. There's a lot of um, people who are saying like, no, you got to be mysterious. But the thing is if you're too mysterious, which is what you're being right now, nothing happens. And at this point, she's either interested or she's not. So I think it's time for you to actually make a move to show her some interest. What do you think?
All right, sounds like it makes sense. A lot of sense. I'll go for it.
Okay. Why don't you text her right now and ask her if she'll meet you for a date? Would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now. Literally right now.
Yeah. I'm literally texting her right now.
Okay, don't send it yet. What are you going to say?
I'm saying, hey, Joanne, I was wondering if you would like to be at a park, just to chill, me and you.
Okay. Instead, say, hey, Joanna, what are you up to this week? Let's grab some coffee.
Okay.
Okay, say that. Meet her for coffee, and just tell her, over the course of the past few weeks, you developed some feelings for her, and you just wanted to be honest, and you just wanted to let her know. Just say that, and then see how she reacts.
All right. All right. All right.
Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. All right, well, listen, if you want, tomorrow I'll be doing a live, and next week I'll be doing a live. Come back on, let us know how it went.
You got it.
Thanks, man. All right, cool. It's very simple advice here. You know, it's guys, it's really tough to make the perfect move when you're in this friend zone shit. Like, it's really tough. Like, there's not much you could do. Like, the best thing you could do is somehow let her know. You know, I mean, you don't sit there and just give her a grand display or a grand gesture of how you feel about her. This isn't the movies. But you just be real with her. Say, hey, listen, the reason I wanted to hang out with you today is because I've realized over the past month or so, I've gotten some feelings for you, and I wanted to let you know. It's not too direct. If a girl is scared by that, that just means she's not interested. If she's interested, that's going to be such a really chill way to let her know confidently that you're interested. Because if she is, she's going to love that. And if she's not, well, there's nothing you can do. I just don't think there's any better way. Don't pull this mystery shit, okay? Where you're just like totally holding back and you think that you're giving her some sort of idea that you're interested just because you're hanging out with her. That's what friends do. So it's just going to confuse her. I think there's a wasp stuck in my wall and it keeps on buzzing. I need to get something to kill that. Okay, the lines are open. I'll look also at the chat and answer any questions. If you guys have any questions about what we're talking about today, how to find a high quality woman, that'd be awesome. We can talk about that, dive deeper into that. Maybe you want to go over with me a girl that you're dating and kind of give me an idea of what she's like, and we can see what's up, see if she's high quality, see if there's any red flags. We can dive in there. Alexander said, yeah, pull her to your world. That's basically what you're doing. That's the thing, actually. Alexander, it's a really good way of putting it. When you're in the friend zone, you're in her world. She's calling all the shots. You're just kind of following what she's doing. That's very beta when you're a follower. Not attractive. You want to be a leader. Pull her into your world, says Alexander_T. I like that. Pull her into your world. That's attractive. She wants to be led by you in terms of through the seduction process. You know? That's what's going to get her more attracted. How to pick up a Chinese girl? That's a funny question. I don't really think there's much of a difference between a Chinese girl and anyone else. Don't think of how to attract a woman based on her ethnicity. A woman is a woman. A woman is a woman. All right, the lines are open. We can answer your question. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. How much is the coaching? I have all various packages, so you'll need to get on the phone with me to go over the investment in terms of how much coaching is. There's all different options that we'll go over for you. Just be white. That's not true. You don't have to be white. All right. Any other questions? The line is open. 310-598-3384. or we can answer your questions in the chat. I bet you at this point we're probably getting questions from a lot of people who are on summer break, unless you're taking your time here in the middle of the afternoon to stop working. Who's working right now? Who's at work? If you're at work, say I'm at work in the chat. I want to hear from you. That'd be funny. All right, here's a caller. What is your name, age, and where are you calling from?
My name is Tripp, calling from Seattle. And I'm 18 years old.
Cool. You're 18.
Yes.
All right. I'll know if you're under 18 by the way you're going to ask this question. So be careful, because we're only answering questions from guys who are over 18. But give it your best shot. What do you got?
Okay, so I have a little trouble. Like sometimes I approach a girl, I'm confident, but I have trouble attracting her. That's my question.
Your question is, how do you attract a girl?
Yeah.
That's the most broad question that one man can ask. How do you attract a girl? Do you have 3 days with no breaks? Because that's how long it's going to take to answer that question.
Wow.
No, man, I'm just giving you shit. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to follow one of my main principles that I talk about. Okay, so how many women are you approaching per week?
A week? Maybe 3.
Okay,
Maybe?
I'd up that number to 20. Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Up that number to 20. You know, what's 20 divided by 7? Like around 3. I do about 3 per day. Okay, so first you want to do that because that's going to help you practice approaching women, becoming more comfortable with them, becoming more confident with them. A lot of approaching is going to help you become more comfortable, which is attractive in itself because a woman wants to know that you're not scared of her. It's very unattractive if you're scared of a woman. Okay, so you want to get a lot of practice approaching and talking to a lot of women. All right. So that's kind of like step 1. Next, you can follow my little system, and I'll explain it very quickly. I actually talk about it more in my program Hooked, which you can check out at getterhooked.com. But I talk about this idea.
Book too.
Oh, you got Magnetic?
Magnetic.
How far into Magnetic are you?
I just got it. I'm about to read it and like come back from work and I'm gonna read it.
Cool. So yeah, it's going to explain all this, but I'll answer the question for you right now and also just so other people can understand. So basically, I have a little system. It's called TED, which is explained, I think, in chapter 3 is maybe when we get into it. Chapter 3, I believe. And it's an acronym that stands for tension, entertainment, and dominance. So if you can combine all 3 of these ideas into an interaction with a woman that you're meeting on an approach, you have greater chances of building attraction with her and getting her attracted to you. So it's T is for tension, E is for entertainment, and D is for dominance. So the really quick explanation of this is tension, which is sexual tension. You need to be able to flirt and build sexual tension with her and give her some sort of idea that you're interested in her. And then E is entertainment, enjoying the moment, talking about the things you want to talk about, and having fun in the interaction without trying to entertain her, but entertaining yourself. This will all make sense once you're reading the book. And then D is dominance. You're leading the interaction. So you're the one who's going over and approaching. You're the one who's going over and talking to her. You're the one who is asking her out. You're the one who is leading her to the sex. Okay, so you're the one who's doing all of that. So make sure that you're in control of that whole dynamic the entire time. And then you throw that all together. That's going to be the best way to build attraction.
Wow. I use it, but I'm good with entertaining myself, like good. And the girl just like, oh wow, you have a good sense of humor, but still they're not like into me, kind of like that.
So that's because you're probably leaving out the T. I don't think you're building enough sexual
Okay.
tension with them. That's
Tension.
probably why.
Okay.
You can't do one of them. You need to do all of them. If you can
All of
combine
them.
all of those, you increase your chances of getting her attracted to you tenfold. Okay, she maybe thinks that you're like a funny guy and that kind of puts you in the friend zone, but it doesn't necessarily give you the label of, oh, I'm becoming sexually attracted to this person. Okay?
Okay.
So let's work on flirting. Let's work on, teasing her a little bit. Let's work on, throw in like one compliment per interaction. Things like that can get her feeling kind of good and getting her a little bit more interested in you because you're showing just a little bit of interest in her, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Sound good?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right,
And
man.
by the way, I don't know you remember me, but I tried to meet up with you when you went to Thailand.
What was your name?
Tripp.
Chris?
Tripp. Krit.
I don't remember. There was a few people who were trying to meet me when I was there. Were you in Thailand at that time?
Yes, and I was like, Tripp, I was in Thailand. I just flew there, and then it's the perfect time. You were in Chiang Mai. Yeah, I was like, hey, you wanna? But you were busy, so.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. I'm sorry we couldn't meet up.
Okay.
I did meet up with a few people out there, but I was every day traveling to somewhere new and kind of bouncing around a bunch. But hey, man, glad you called in. We can at least connect here and answer your question.
Thank you so much. Keep it up, Tripp. Love
Thanks,
your
man.
video.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
All right, lines are open. I'm looking at the chat right now. Someone said, why are you using high quality woman a lot? I think it's offensive. What's offensive about that? Some women are high quality. Some women are not. Sorry. Does it offend you because I'm saying that not all women are quality? Well, what I mean is she going to be a woman who's going to be good for you in terms of a relationship? So whatever label you want to use for that, it's going to be a woman that's either going to be, again, quality. I don't know what else you want to say here. Someone who's going to be a good partner. Maybe we'll just say the words good and bad. Good girl, bad girl. You want a good girl. In the sense where she doesn't have the red flags that I mentioned earlier. Chuck said, we aren't looking for toxic relationships. Very well said. Very well said, Chuck. You said, I think that quality to describe women is a little disrespecting because it's used for describing objects like tables. Okay, I get what you're saying. It's a little bit objectifying. And we're not trying to objectify women here. I think it's very clear that we're just trying to find women who are going to be, like I said, good partners, good people. All right, lines are open. Here to answer some more questions for you. We got some more time. Well, Sawad, yes, quality. I disagree. Quality doesn't have to be used as objects. It can be used for anything. You're not the vocabulary boss here. Yes, we normally use the word quality for objects, but we can use it for anything. How about an experience, a quality experience, right? Let's not get nitpicky here in terms of words. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think that we're trying to just figure out what's going to be good for us and how we can get into a relationship that's healthy. Okay? Healthy. Vincent, quality over quantity. Agree. So you said, I really advise you to avoid that because a lot of girls in Europe hate that really much. Well, that's their problem. I don't care if they don't like that. I think we should stop judging based on the simple words we're saying and go deeper. Go more into what we're talking about here. We're talking about what's going to be a healthy relationship. That's the most important part. So if someone's going to judge by a word, well, then they're not quality, are they? Because they're not willing to discuss deeper things. So I would say let's go into the meat of it, which is understanding what is going to be good for you, what's going to be healthy. And by the way, this goes for guys too. You need to make sure that you're not a drug addict and you're dealing with your psychological issues. You have friends and you don't have low self-esteem. This goes for anybody. Anybody. Brother Tree said quality is subjective to you. It's what you want. This is my opinion. I agree. That's why part of it is the 3 non-negotiables, is the parts that you feel are quality. So that's what you're going to have to find. And then we combine it with some of the more general things that I said. Punk asked, you said, why are the guys in this chat worried about the little details and locking onto a word? That is your problem. Be happy, not crappy. Sawad, okay, I understand. Thank you for your help. No problem, man. No problem. I don't mean to call you out, but, it's definitely something worth discussing. Okay? Yeah. It's funny, just a lot of guys don't think about this stuff. Like, I wish I had this. I wish that there was classes in high school or in college that talk about relationships. It's like one of the most, like, it's like college and high school. It's like they're only preparing you to get a job. And there's all these aspects of our life that is so beyond just our work. I mean, there's so many different aspects. Our friends, the relationships that we get in, that like one person that you're just going to like spend the rest of your life with. Oh, but no big deal. Let's not talk about that stuff. Hopefully your parents know, but they probably don't, or they're not talking to you about it. So you have to go on YouTube. And that's why, every time I do one of these, there's almost 1,000 people watching and I have almost 800,000 subscribers. And I'm not bragging right now. My point is, the numbers are high because there's so many people who want answers to these questions and we don't get them. And then what happens? We get into bad relationships. I mean, really the list goes on. I don't mean to get dark here, but like suicide happens when you go through bad breakups, depression, divorces. I mean, a lot of really crappy shit. That's redundant, crappy shit. A lot of really bad stuff happens when you don't find the right partner and there's no one out there who's trying to teach you this stuff. Instead, we have to only learn, geometry and history and, everything else. And it's fine. Great. It's good to learn about math. It's good to work the brain and learn all these things, but we don't talk enough about relationships, socializing, any of this stuff. As you can see, I'm very passionate about it. It's just such a shame. Such a shame. It is. It is a shame that my job exists. Like, it shouldn't. Maybe a specialized version of my job can exist, which is like I'm working with people who are heavily socially anxious, but I work with all kinds of guys. I coach so many kinds of guys, all because they didn't have an opportunity to be able to learn this stuff in their education system. So there's my little rant right there. Gets me worked up. But either way, I love what I do. I love that I'm able to teach this stuff, and I'm always learning every day too. I'm in a relationship right now. I've been in multiple relationships. I had to learn this stuff a lot on my own, some from books, some from other people, but I've kind of combined all this stuff, and I'm still learning, and I love sharing it with you on these lives. That's right. Real talk. How to become financially independent. I don't really give finance advice. I do talk a little bit in my book, Magnetic, where we discuss some general principles that I've learned over the years in terms of how to manage your money. It's just a little paragraph that is very helpful. But But it's a great question. I'm glad that you're trying to look into that. Being financially independent or at least financially responsible is really important to becoming a high quality man or a high quality person, because money is important. You're going to need money to survive and have a lifestyle. So I recommend that you look into that on your own, but I wouldn't be the guy to give you that type of advice. There's just a lot there. So let's stick more to the topic. But definitely, I would check out Reddit. Reddit's a really great resource for very specific questions to stuff about finance. Well, really about almost anything. But you can check out reddit.com/r/fire. Stands for Financially Independent Retire Early. There's some good stuff in there. So Vincent said, I'm a very good entrepreneur. That is true. I mean, entrepreneurship is a lot. I've learned a lot about that, as much as I've learned about dating, sex, and relationships, because I had to build this to get this information out to you. But I don't teach it. I could sit someone down and teach them how do you start an online business and really good principles of how to be an entrepreneur. But, not everyone here is wanting to learn that. So we kind of want to stick to the topic here. Okay. Brother Tree said, Tripp, it's about being a service to yourself and a service to others. It doesn't matter what it is you do, even if you or others think it's stupid or unnecessary, as long as it makes lives less crap. I agree. I agree with that. That's a good way of putting it. Anything that you can do to help others. Because you know what? Let's be honest. You're right. Even if there was courses out there and you learned this stuff in high school, you learned it in college, doesn't mean you're going to necessarily be good at it, or you're going to just understand it and be good to go. Any kind of topic, there's so much information to dive into and learn a lot about. So, you can call again if you called. I mean, listen, man, the lines are open. We got a little bit left here. I can answer another question so we can talk more. Someone said there needs to be a How to Be a Man course. Well, there is now. You can get Magnetic on Amazon, my book. You can get my course called Hooked at getherhooked.com, and you can also get coaching at coachedbytripp.com. So lots of options for you. But yeah, I'm down to take another call. Literally one more, if you can call in within the next minute or so, and I'll answer your question. Occupy New Paradigm. You said, I want to get into dating and life coaching. Well, you better have some good answers for people. Better have some techniques, some systems that you can teach that get people results. That's the way to become a coach of some sort. So I started coaching for free just to see if it'd work, if I could do it. I never just said one day, okay, I'm a coach now, I'm amazing. I had to try coaching. See, is this something I'm good at? I think I could be good at, but I didn't know until I tested it. So I did it for free for a little while. And then when I saw that it did work and it was getting people results, that's when I started the business. So. Atomic Sonic, I don't understand what that means. All right, caller. What's up? What's your name, age? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Tripp. This is Vince calling from Montreal, Quebec.
What's up, man? We got a couple more minutes, so ask your question fast.
Okay, quick question. So look, I know you don't suggest using the dating apps and stuff like that, but I was on it the other day. I actually matched with a girl who, she saw me at school and stuff like that. And we were talking. The conversation was going well and everything. The only thing was that she kind of just completely stopped talking to me out of nowhere. I don't know if someone said something about me to her, or she just completely ghosted me. And I was wondering how do you deal with girls who just everything's going well and they just ghost you?
Now, this is from an online dating app that this girl ghosted you?
no, basically it was Tinder. So we were talking on Tinder. Conversation was going good. Then I'm like, hey, why don't you just add me on Snapchat? So took her over to Snapchat. We were talking, and then just she stopped talking to me. And it's not the first time that this happens where girls just completely ghost me out of nowhere.
Sometimes,
ghosting and
so
flaking
sometimes women will ghost you because you're not taking the move to ask her out. So she's sitting there waiting for you to ask her out, and you're not doing it. You know, you can't just like go. By the way, I'm not against online dating. It's just I'm against only using online dating. But if you're doing online dating, that's fine. But remember that once you're on the app, Tinder, Bumble, or the site or whatever dating site, don't go from we're talking on an online dating site to anything but what is your number. Get to the point where you get her number and then you ask her out. So you're basically lengthening this process by, hey, let's go on Snapchat. Now we're snapping each other, and you're snapping someone you don't even know. They are on the dating site because they want to meet a guy, and they're trying to get a guy in person. So if you're taking too long to do that, she'll probably just leave you, wait for another guy to do it, or she already got asked out by another guy, so she doesn't need to keep talking to you because she's aware that you're not going to make the move.
Okay, because it's like I was thinking like, let me just have some conversation with her, and then once I build some kind of like once I built some type of rapport with her, then maybe it wasn't even like it was literally one night. Like I wasn't thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna like second text I send her, I'm gonna be like second message, I'll be like, okay, let's meet up tomorrow. I feel like it sounds a bit needy, so
No, you're right. You build rapport on the app. And you go back and forth for like a little bit on the app, like 5 or 6 messages, and then you go for the number. And then once you get the number, then you go for the date. So you don't need to go quickly off of the app to something else. Just build some rapport on the app and then get her number. And then pretty much immediately once you have her number, ask her out. That's the formula.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right?
Because like that sounds good. That's what I'll probably do.
Awesome, man. Sounds good.
Okay. And
We got to wrap up. We got to wrap up.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
All right, man. Call back next week or tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Later, bro. Awesome. All right, you guys are awesome. This wraps up another live session. I'm going to go live tomorrow. Let me see what time. I think we're going to probably try to do like 5:30 maybe. 5:30 Central tomorrow. If not, for some reason, we'll do next Tuesday. Or potentially on Sunday. But definitely next Tuesday, every Tuesday, 12 p.m. And we do every Wednesday night. So, guys, thank you so much for being here, for joining me. Hope you learned a few things. We got intense, man. We got intense today. It was really cool. Don't forget, if you need coaching, hit me up. CoachByTripp.com. Apply today, and we will help you. We'll get you to the point where you are having the active dating life that you want. All you got to do is fill out an application, and I will be there for you. I will hold your hand through the whole process. It will be freaking awesome. Thanks for joining. Good day, good day, good day. See you next time. Bye, guys.